Right, so my travels have brought me into Surrey. We're here at Martin Lynch Sons in Staines, and as you can see over my shoulder there's a couple of great big aerials, a mag loop, and I've never actually seen a full-size mag loop. However, that isn't a full-size mag loop, that's only the midi size. There's actually a really full-size one which is a lot bigger than that. So yeah, I was shocked, and I've just had a quick walk around inside the shop and a quick talk to Tony, the sales manager, and had a look at what they've got, and they've invited me in to do a little bit of a walk around and have a look at the amazing gear that they've got in there, and I hope you'll join me. So let's go in and take a look. So here we are inside, and we're with Tony, the sales manager. How long have you been here then?
So I've been here for 13 years.
Wow.
So that's quite a while.
I bet you've seen things change a lot.
I've seen things change a hell of a lot, yeah. Obviously with the invention of the internet, you know, 50% of the business is now online, but we still feel there's a need for personal touch.
Literally being able to walk into a shop and see all this gear, and it really is just like an Aladdin's cave. I always used to say if I was to get locked in a shop I would want it to be the Cadbury shop, but I've got to be honest with you, I've now seen the exact shop that I'd like to get locked in. So you've got your own channel, haven't you? And I've seen Martin and Jonathan presenting quite a few times. What's that channel called, by the way?
So it's ML&S.TV.
Land.
So Martin Lynch and S for the Sons. .tv.
Brilliant. Okay.
You can find it easier is just go to hamradio.co.uk and just click find the links there.
Brilliant.
It's a lot easier. Okay, so Flex series. I know as you said, as we spoke earlier, you own a Flex yourself, 6000 series, and when it comes to SDR, if you're looking for an easy to use SDR radio, then the Flex is the way to go.
This has got a screen.
Yeah. So with regards to this, we found a lot of our more mature customers like to have a radio to still play with, but they wanted the benefits of SDR technology, so i.e. they wanted the filtering, they wanted to see the massive band scope, etc. So what Flex did is basically, this one I've not got on at the moment, as you can tell, but Gary's been working on it. So within here you have basically kind of a Windows tablet design, so you're running a small computer in there and you've got the full display as you would do on a separate outboard monitor.
Yeah, right.
And a nice big VFO knob.
Which we all like.
Which we all like.
Dials,
exactly.
What we got along here then? We've got some of the old stuff as well.
We do, yeah. This is where you would have preferred to have Martin doing the interview.
Martin does like the classics.
Yeah, there's not one thing that guy doesn't know. So he's got a story about all of these. So yeah, the original 101 ZD, as you can see there, which, you know, there's a lot of our customers sort of grew up on 101s.
Yeah.
You know, all the way through. Nice Trio 700G.
Now here's a radio that's really close to my heart, the FT450D.
Yeah.
Now this was my very first radio. Before I passed my test, I bought this about probably 3-4 weeks, and then I took my M6 or my foundation license and got my ticket. Today's Black Friday.
It is Black Friday, so if you want another one, we can always do a deal. We're always open to a deal, that's for sure.
Brilliant. I think one of the things that surprises me, that I'm really glad when I come here, is to see the radios actually in the flesh.
Yeah.
Because I never knew how big that radio was. That's a very nice size for a shack, isn't it?
Yeah, it's not oversized. It's not kind of like your old FT1000s, etc. And the good thing with the Kenwoods is they're all USB compatible as well.
Right.
So if you want to go onto digital modes or operate remote, plug it into the USB straight to the computer.
So they've got a sound card built in?
Yeah, sound card's all built in and ready to go, and the software's free of charge for remote.
Wow, okay, cool.
But yeah, HF and 6, this is kind of your radio that if you want to progress to something newer, and you don't want all the fuss of the scopes, etc., then this is the way to go, because it is so easy to operate.
This is radio. I remember when this came out, this was only a few years ago, wasn't it? The 101. This is the high power, the 200
This
watt
is, yeah, so 200 watts. So when you buy these new or used even, it comes with the power supply built in here, and obviously the speaker. What a lot of guys are doing now as well is adding the additional SP101 speaker.
Right.
Because you've got obviously the two receivers.
Yep.
So you can split one out to one out to the other, monitor your DX or your DXpedition.
Yeah, right.
And it makes it so easy. But yeah, again, monitor out. I mean, you can picture the scene now, that with the monitor on top in the shack.
Sorted. A few antenna switches.
So these are great if you've got a few antennas down at the end of the garden and you're running, say, a 9700, for example, when you've got a 2 metre antenna, 77 to 23, and you can just rotate round and change as you go along.
And good quality coax isn't cheap, is it?
No, it's not cheap.
So those switchers give us the ability to run one feeder down to the bottom of the garden and then switch it locally at the actual antenna.
Yeah, basically.
So the cost of the switcher could actually be offset against the saving of the
Yeah,
coax.
in a way, in a way. It's a good way of doing it. And it's just the accessibility that you don't have to keep popping out and changing stuff. So.
Is there much losses in those? No, nothing worth worrying about.
No, nothing worth worrying about.
Okay. Now this is a radio that's always caught my eye. All those buttons and knobs. Oh, the 5000 with the station monitor on top. Lovely radio. I've never actually owned one. I'm led to believe that these are more of a contester's radio. The filtering on my
kind of contest and DXs as well. The noise reduction. It was kind of the first time we'd seen proper noise reduction where you could literally put it in and you'd drop all of the background noises down.
Right.
So all you've got, like me and you talking now, and just perfect. That is my favourite radio.
Is it really?
It is actually, yeah. It is. I know a lot's come since.
Yeah.
But the 5000 is just, everything's to hand. It's 200 watts.
So I've got to ask, and I'm going to look on what's on the second shelf up in a minute. But you've just said that's your favourite radio.
It is. It is.
So I've got to ask you the question.
The times, really, shouldn't I? It is.
I've got to ask you the question, Tony. Literally, if money was no object, right? So you've said that's your favourite radio, but if money was no object, and I'm looking here, we've got the 101 MP.
Yep.
We've got the IC 7700, and then next to it we've got the flagship Kenwood TS 990. So, are you going to revise that? Are you going to change your mind if you had the choice of anything?
The choice of anything. Hand on heart at the moment, 890 or 101.
Right. Okay.
Okay. I don't really need 200 watts. I don't need dual receive.
Yeah.
So, kind of takes the 990 out of it. As beautiful as it is and how well constructed it is, kind of takes it out of me. 890 single receiver. Display out, USB connection, and just
Brilliant.
The quality is just lovely, the audio. And the 101, just because it's new tech and it's current and it gets updated all the time, and I kind of like that. And it's got the 3D rolled-in scope. Yeah. But between those two, it's one of those. Yeah, I'd probably have to take. If money was no object, I'd take both. Because it's easy.
Okay. Do you know what? I'm going to make a comment here.
Yeah.
This radio here, the 480, I've never seen one of these in person, and I'm really surprised how compact it is. That is a really nice radio. You could easily go mobile with that, couldn't you?
Yeah, I mean, the idea was for it to be like kind of a mobile home strike mobile radio.
Yeah, I saw this at Newark about 2 years ago, I think.
Yeah, we had the picture of Martin, and I think they're still on the website at the moment with Martin and Gary.
Yeah. Yeah. I can't even start to understand how this could work. Where does the signal come out of? Where's the aerial?
That is the antenna. So it's the same principle as any of the loops from Zero Loops.
Yeah.
Okay. So tuning wise, as you can see on the top. So as the vanes go together and move apart, that's your tuning range there. What you'll find with this, obviously, this is the stealth version.
Yeah.
So if you've nowhere else to put an antenna and you've got a balcony, etc., or a small garden, great, out of eyesight, pop it down there, nice low angle of radiation from it. Directionality wise, it's not as much as like the baby loop where you can actually sort of tune it across. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it's just superb. It's just a great way of working and really high Q, so great efficiency on it.
So where actually is the element in terms of the radiating element? Is this it?
Right, this I'll go over to Gary. Gary's turned up just at the right time. Gary's our loop expert. So
no, I'm not an expert at anything. I was just thinking if you want to see it running.
Oh, okay.
There we go.
That's interesting. So what is the power handling capability of it?
It's 200 watts into the controller itself, and I think the loop itself will go from about, I think it was off the top of my head, it's about 600 watts, and in some cases it'll go up to about 800 or so, maybe a bit more.
Oh right, okay.
So, but you've got to put the controller in the right part. So you've either got to put the controller is before an amplifier, and then put the amplifier in between the controller and the loop, so that the loop sees the high power, not the controller.
Yeah, okay.
So that's how to do that.
Right, got you. Okay. So, I mean, it's radical, isn't it? I've never ever seen anything like this.
No, I hadn't. I mean, I've been using loops for as long as I can remember. This is very radical when you sort of consider, you know, the typical sort of shape. It's normally either hexagon or it's a you know, like a big circle.
I believe that these are very, very narrow as well. So
yeah, it's about six or so kilohertz, so they're quite narrow.
Yeah.
So yeah, it does have some benefits, but the downside of that is that when you tune away from it, you don't have to go very far before the performance of the loop really starts, you know, tripling off.
You was telling me earlier on about a lot of people mount these indoors, and so you have to be aware from a safety perspective.
Yeah, you need to be, I mean, obviously you do need to be very, very conscious that there can be an awful lot of power at the top here, so you don't want to be putting your hands on at the top. There is a cap which will go over the top, and you know, so there is a little bit of thought that needs to be there. You know, they are you know, they're to be respected, you know, like any RF. You know, you can get a nasty belt off of a, you know, a vertical or whatever, and you know, the same with these. It's just exactly the same. So you need to give RF a lot of respect, which is why we do our training. You've actually got a little box, and this will come up and gives you the SWR at that particular time and tells you what frequency you're on. So for instance, if I want to tune to something else, all you simply do is press the star, which is auto tune, and we can put in a frequency. So let's put in, say, 75 and then 100, and then press enter. It's actually quite quick.
There's one thing I wanted to talk to you about, actually, because as I was walking in here, I noticed obviously you've got a lovely couple of antennas up there, but I also noticed on the back you've got a pole up with some folded dipoles that look like they're for maybe UHF 77.
We do, yes. So we have a UHF repeater here.
Right.
Okay. It's been up for probably about a year and a half now.
Right.
It gets sort of used by all of the local amateurs, which is great. We run System Fusion, C4FM, and also analog on there as well. So it's a dual purpose DR2 repeater that we've got on there from the AC, which is just kept here. Nice and simple. So as you can see, the repeaters here, which is the AC DR1 system, which is basically two FD M400s running as the repeater. And then obviously PSU there, and then we've got our cavities as well on there. And as you said, that links out to our antenna just outside on the back of the shop. Right. And if only we were 150 foot higher than we are.
I know, that's always the challenge, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It has been a challenge.
And you've done all your calculations for EMF?
Yeah, for EMF, as we all have to do now.
Yeah, nice.
It is, yeah. This is our engineer's linear, which has gone up for sale.
Yeah, lovely.
So that's he's been in every Saturday for I don't know how long rebuilding this.
Beautiful.
One of only two available in the world with the conversion that's been done.
Really? Talking of nice.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. The screen on these, it's just class, isn't it?
Yeah.
It really is.
It's kind of it's weird because it's kind of like a matte finish to it.
Yeah.
And again, touchscreen, which is great.
Is it really?
Yes.
Wow.
So again, if you see something you want to listen to, you literally just touch it
that's
and
really
the
good.
band moves across. 4 separate antennas.
Oh, right.
Full transmit and receive.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you've got separate RX antennas as well there.
Oh, wow.
And then you've got a drive if you want to run a transverter.
Yeah.
Or lower bands, etc. So you can go really low bands.
And you've got a 10 meg reference
oscillator on there as well. And again, optical in and out if you're running a decent audio system.
Yeah.
Again, you can split your speakers, and as we were saying before,
Left
where
and
people
right,
are running, left and right on there,
Yeah.
and accessory ports straight in. So, great way of doing it.
That's on my list. Yeah.
So as you can see here, we've got ACOM linear. So this has just come down. This has been inspected upstairs, and no doubt this will go on sale very soon in the next week or so.
Lovely.
ACOM 1000, so a kilowatt, which will run your 400 watts legal limit, nice and easy. No stress to the linear.
Yeah.
And as I said, the good thing now, because of the kind of cost of amateur radio equipment, it's coming in and it's beautifully looked after.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, it's people aren't putting a cup of tea on top anymore, and and the lack of the logbook has saved a lot of radios, because before everyone used to put their logbook on the top, and we'd get the radios. As you said, the changes over 13 years. I remember, you know, 10 years ago, radios would come in and you'd see where they'd scratched in call signs, etc.
Yeah.
So that's stuff's just beautiful now.
And I think also as well, because people tend to keep them in pristine condition, the cost is literally the difference between what you buy it for and what you sell it for after you're finished with it.
Yeah.
So, you know, literally over a 5-year period, that might physically only cost you a couple of hundred quid.
Yeah. I mean, pound per hour enjoyment, it's levelled.
That's
now,
it.
you know. It has levelled, and radios have never been cheaper if you do it in the comparison of what it was back in the day. So
you've got a really good selection of quality here, haven't you?
Yeah. If there are gaps in the market, we like to try and do our own products as well. So you've probably seen the Midel range of products.
Yeah.
And we've got a lot of stuff branded as ML&S as well. Introduction of the 9700 that I was saying about earlier. 270 and 23 cents.
Right.
Been a shortage of diamond antennas for I can't tell you how long. We've had one of these created. And they're just a good value antenna, you know.
Yeah, and that's what it's all about, isn't
yeah,
it?
exactly. You know, you've got to have options for everyone. You know, not everyone's got a £20,000 budget for a shack.
Yeah, absolutely.
And why can't everyone enjoy the hobby at a price?
It's nice to see some of Callum's
We do, yeah.
on the shelf there.
Yeah, after a lot of conversations with Callum, we're managing to sell his poles now.
Yeah.
And at some point, I'm sure he's going to give us a few more products to put on the lineup. That's for sure.
Yeah, I've been along there and seen the good work that he's doing, especially with the Nebula. Or Nebula. But I've actually got one of these poles on a TK bracket on the apex of my house.
Oh wow, okay. How's it holding up?
So it's been up there about a year and a half now. I haven't got the whole pole. I've only got around about 4 sections of it, but that's actually supporting my 40 and 80 dipole. So you've got a huge selection here, haven't you? Mounts as well.
Yes, we've got mounts. Again, if you're after a really good quality mount, we've got the diamond mounts in stock, which obviously come at a premium. And then we have the Nagoya mounts, which are based along the lines of the diamond mounts. Again, but about half the price.
Yep, there you go.
You know, so if you just want to pop up a 270 onto the car, perfect for it. Absolutely perfect.
I always advise anybody when they're looking at buying, especially diamond. I think diamond and also Nagoya are probably the world's most copied brands. You know, for aerials anyway. And I always say to anybody, don't buy it off eBay. You know, although it might look like a bargain, it's a bargain because there's a reason.
Exactly, it's the old saying, isn't it?
Absolutely. And I always say, you know, if you are looking for that kind of quality, which I've got the 7900 on the motorhome, and it's 114 quid. Yeah. But do you know what? It's, in my mind, it's the best mobile 270 aerial that you can buy. Exactly. And then we've got some base station antennas. Again, I've got a Diamond X510, actually. Brilliant antenna. Apart from the 700, I think it's probably one of the biggest base station 2-meter antennas there is.
Yeah, this is probably our most popular antenna when it comes to those that can put a larger antenna up. The 510, reports-wise, phenomenal. I mean, you know, you've got one yourself, so you must know.
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely superb with a 510.
Again, you know, it's big, 5.1 metres versus the X300, which is 3 metres. Yeah. But do you know what? If you can get away with it, put it up and you'll get even if you only get one extra S point and a few more extra contacts, it's money well spent.
Yeah, definitely worth it.
And I've had mine up for probably, I don't know, I've had mine up about 3 years.
Okay.
First thing I did was I stuck some self-amalgamating tape around the joints, and I've never even thought about it ever since. It just carries on working.
I mean, it's the same with anything. If you do the setup correctly and you go through, now a lot of guys want to do it on the cheap and just say, I'll get a bit of coax and I'll stick the plug on and the job's done. You need to set it up properly. It will last you forever.
Absolutely.
You get a good decade out of a lot of stuff here. So.
I was intrigued by this because this is all brand new kit, isn't it?
Yeah, in a way.
Yeah.
It is brand new. Yes, it's left the premises. However, obviously, with mail order being how it is nowadays, people have a right to return goods after a certain amount of time. If it's not for them or it doesn't fit the purpose, it's not come back because it's faulty. It's just the fact that the guy didn't want it, or someone's found out that they bought it when they shouldn't have bought it, for example. Say no more.
We all know
exactly.
what that means.
So yeah, so it's a great way of buying. It saves you, a few pounds and pennies here and there. Always comes with the full warranty from manufacturer. And as you can see, I mean, look at the 7300, for example. It's as it was when it left us, basically. It's just that the box has been open.
So anyway, this is your icon selection, and you've got it laid out by manufacturer, haven't you?
We
so you've
do,
got your Kenwood and your Icom, and my favourite, the Yaesu.
Yeah.
But so this is the Icom section, a brand that I don't know a lot about, but I tell you what, I've heard about this radio a lot.
Yeah, 705. So everyone was in a bit of a panic. Why do we want a QRP radio? Why hasn't it got 4 meters? That was the big internet saga. No 4 meters on it. It was going to have 4 meters on it. It's absolutely love the radio because there's nothing like it around.
No,
there's nothing. Yes, there are smaller portable radios. They're not of the same quality.
Yeah, I mean this is absolutely bang up to date, isn't it? SDR. So this is a bit like carrying a 991A around in your pocket, basically. Okay. Yeah. And is this battery powered?
It is. So you see here.
Wow. Yeah.
It's basically the same kind of battery as you'd get on a handheld.
Yeah.
So you've not got a big gel cell that you're carrying around. 7 amp hour battery or whatever. So these are easy to take, easy to replace, easy to pop in and out. And then the great thing with this is the amateur sort of community being as they are. It's aftermarket heaven when it comes to being a sort of modular concept of the fact that you've got a radio now. All of a sudden you've got all of these extras you can bolt onto it. So this one's obviously been through the through the workshop with all the bits. So we've got the extra cage on top. So these are about £100 or so. Added protection if you're carrying it around. Nice and easy, portable. Then we've got the Z mount on the bottom. So you can pull that, fix it to however you want. Nice and sturdy. If you come around this side, we've also got the Q-Rabs, which is a quick release antenna bracket, I believe. Is that right? So you can run out of the B&C, have it fed through, and then run an SO239, and then just run either a vertical antenna out the back or run it to an external antenna quite easily. And nice thing with this, obviously, speaker mic. You can use the audio from the radio just by leaving that out. So.
Yeah, that is beautiful, isn't it?
Okay, so Yaesu, as you said, you've mentioned it a few times, 991A, the shack in a box. The radio everyone expects to be a lot bigger than what it is, but to me, perfect size, especially if you want to go out portable as well. So, kind of a replacement for the old 897, which everyone sort of remembers with the batteries, etc. Nice clear scope. Improvement on the A version is you've got a real-time scope rather than a static scope on the original 991. C4 FM as well. So if you're coming through and you want to access GB3ML, perfect.
There you go. This is a shock. Look how small that is.
Yeah, the 300D.
Do you know what? Honestly, again, you see a picture of it and you don't realise how small it is. So I've had the 100 and I've now got the 400 in the motorhome.
So you're spoilt really with the 400 and a nice big colour
Absolutely.
display.
And I always thought this would be the similar size, and I always thought that screen would be the same size
No, so what they've tried to do is with this is take away the larger display and the distraction side of it, and then added Bluetooth as a standard.
And I'm so impressed with all these microphones. They're lovely, aren't they? They're like a work of art.
Yeah, well, we had a panic because they stopped, obviously you know the AC range as well, and they had the M100, the M200, MD200, the old egg-looking broadcast style one, and they vanished. All of a sudden they vanished, and it was like, oh no, there's no microphones from Yaesu. And then out crept the M1, the M100, we've got the M70 now, the 90 as well, the boom version of the 90. Yeah, over here, so again, some more B stock.
Oh, right.
101 MP.
Okay, and now then, we've got some offcuts of coax. What's this all about?
Okay, what this is we used to do sort of set measurements of coax online. So you can order by the meter now on the website, on all the coax.
Yeah.
Good thing about that is you get what you want. Bad point about that is that when I come to the end of a roll of 100 metres,
Yeah.
you may have had 17, he may have had 25, someone
Yeah.
might have had 22. So we get these little offcuts.
Yeah.
So in the store, we have the offcuts here available. So if you visit the store, it's kind of an added bonus that you can pick some coax up on the cheap.
And you've got a bit of a selection of the whole of the
We do.
M&P range, haven't you?
So any of the M&P coax that we sell, we've literally got offcuts of near enough every variety of it. Even then, you know, going to the UHF 13 for satellite use,
Wow.
etc. Yeah.
And is it as good as they say?
Yes.
Is it?
Yeah, 100%.
I've looked online and
Don't sell anything else.
really,
Well, I lie. We sell one other cable, which is a Mini 8,
Yeah.
just because it's got a bit of a following.
yeah,
But if you're going to buy a Mini 8, spend the money buy UHF 7.
yeah, right.
It's 1 mil smaller and much more efficient. So obviously they're not going to get the benefit of this on camera, but
Yeah.
I mean, if you grab that,
Wow,
yeah.
wow, that is so.
So that's an airborne coax, and that's developed for guys that were going to do expeditions, and they're taking, you know, 200-300 metres of coax. And
Yeah.
you think of the cost on taking that travelling, and there's just no, you know,
Yeah,
no weight to it at all. Still fairly flexible. Yeah, I cringe if someone comes in and buys a £2,000 radio and then asks for RG58. I just kind of think, why are you doing that? Please don't do that. Spend £500 less on the radio and spend the rest of the money on the antenna and the coax. Do it properly.
Yeah.
You know, do it properly. We've got this lovely man in the States that goes through Mr. Nifty, and
Right.
before all the radios go out, he gets a copy of the manuals and he reads them, which every amateur should be doing, obviously, but we don't.
Yeah.
And he finds all of the shortcuts
Yeah.
to operate in that radio. So you can literally look up and whatever you want to do. So let's try and find something nice and simple on the 101. So I want to enable my CW transmit, for example.
Yep.
All I need to do is press CW, select whether it's upper or lower, and then monitor your keying. And hear the tone, and then press moni.
That's brilliant, isn't it?
Yeah. Whereas normally you'd be on the phone asking your friend who might have one, oh, how do I do?
And I see you've also got a range of wire antennas as well.
We do. So we do the Alpha Delta range,
Yeah.
again from States.
Yeah.
Quality is superb, as you can imagine, with the extreme weather in the States. So, I mean, just, if you look at the insertion points, they are built to last.
Yeah.
Yeah. So most of these Alpha Delta ones are kind of designed on a fan dipole.
Yeah.
So as we said about antenna being very important, you've got resonant antennas on those bands.
I'm absolutely stoked that you're open. Just to be able to come in here and see radios switched on and be able to touch them and, you know, twiddle the dials, and it's brilliant. The setup that you guys have got here is amazing. So
It's something that Martin's always tried to sort of keep within the business. You want to feel like you're at home. When you come here, you want to be relaxed.
I really appreciate your time. Honestly, you've gone above and beyond what I expected. So
That's all right.
thank you very much for that. Well, there you go. What a great couple of hours that was with those guys. They were super accommodating, really friendly, and you know, we were all very respectful of COVID and obviously social distancing and all that kind of stuff. But these guys are there to do a job, and they did it brilliantly. So I'm taking my hat off to the guys at ML&S. And if ever you're down here and you've got a chance, call in and see these guys. They've got an amazing setup. And yeah, there you go. So thanks for watching, and I look forward to seeing you again soon. Bye for now.